What's going on, y'all? Harry from Harry the Horse Barbecue here, and in this one, I am not horsing around with this roasted Poblano Oaxaca sausage. We're gonna fire roast and char up some beautiful Poblano peppers, case up some gorgeous green beef and pork links, cold smoke them off to build some intense smoke flavor, and then we'll pop open and snap on into a unique green link. Looking to make a mean green ween? Well, the horse has got your back. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
Now this Poblano Oaxaca sausage is highly inspired by the amazing crew down at Moosecraft Barbecue in LA. Now I have no idea how Moosecraft makes their Poblano Oaxaca sausage, but I found a bunch of cool green ingredients and some Oaxaca cheese. So we're gonna put a Harry the Horse spin on this green sausage. Now in order to make this green sausage, we gotta go shopping for some green stuff. Let's go. I didn't have to go far. Let's take a look at what's going into this sausage before we roast them off. We got cilantro, 4 poblano peppers, 5 jalapenos, an avocado, a sweet yellow onion, some limes, and a whole head of garlic. So I'm going to roast off the poblanos, the garlic, the jalapenos, and the onion on an open fire in my fire pit to char these bad mamma jammas up. With these veg are ready to go, let's go fire up the fire pit. Just gonna grab some junky pieces of wood for my wood pile, a couple of snake nests. Now this is my little outdoor fire pit that I got from my man Joe Z. And it's not just any little outdoor fire pit. This one has the Labatt branding logo all over it. Speaking of, I should have an ice cold blue while we roast off these veg. Ah, yeah, that's the stuff. And we just sit in the rain, enjoy the day, drink a beer, listen to the birds, listen to the fire. There's really nothing more to do. Doesn't get better than this. Shoe doggy. Open fire grilling, drinking a beer and chilling. Peppers getting roasty, staying by the fire, staying toasty. Yeah, and I gotta say, this fire pit is not horsing around. These poblanos are super soft and blackened all over. We're gonna pop them into a bowl. Same thing with these jalapenos, super charred, super soft. We're just gonna cover this bowl with plastic wrap and steam these. And we'll take the onions and garlic off in a little bit. Our vegetables are finished charring over that open fire. I steamed out the poblanos and the jalapenos, peeled off the charry skin, and now they're just waiting to blend up into our green sauce. But before we get there, we actually have to start making this sausage. So in order to do that, we gotta go shopping for some meat. Let's go. Meat and some brisket trim. So here I've got 2 pounds of pork shoulder and 2 pounds of mock tender from my guys over at Marbled Meat Shop. I've also got a little bit of pork fatback and some brisket trim from my How to Smoke a Brisket by Feel video. So enough horsing around, let's get these meats and fats out of the packs. Okay. A nice beautiful chunk of pork butt here and some beautiful mock tender that I believe comes from the shoulder of the cow. And let's get down to business. So I'm obviously taking a lot of inspiration from Moosecraft Barbecue, but since I'm not super familiar with what Moosecraft is doing, I'm just creating a blend and my own recipe. It honestly doesn't matter the blend of meat that you're going with. And if you're familiar with sausage making, all we're doing is chunking this down so the pieces can fit through our meat grinder really easily, and we don't have any struggles trying to get this meat down the throat. What? By eyeballing this, I think our meat to fat ratio is gonna be pretty spot on for this sausage. But we're gonna send this off to the freezer for about 30 minutes. And while we do that, let's make our green sauce for the sausage. Going down with our onions and our jalapenos, seeds and all. Our blanched spinach. Shout out Tyler Hodge for that trick. Our bundle o cilantro. That whole head of fire roasted garlic. Get up in there. Man, that is a pretty avocado. This whole avocado is going right into the blender. I'm gonna go in with the juice of a whole lime. I'm worried that too much lime might start to eat away at the proteins in the meat when we bind this all together. Just squeeze it up in there. I'm gonna add a ½ cup of avocado oil, but this should help emulsify the sauce. Here we go. You can see the thickness of this sauce. Not too thick, but also not too runny as well. That color's amazing. It's gonna add a ton of flavor to our sausage. Now I did add about a ¼ cup of water to this mixture as it was blending to help thin it out and blend a little bit easier, but we'll save it to the side and let's start grinding that meat. But first, let's make our sausage spice mix. starting with some milk powder. And to this, we're gonna add our flavoring components to our sausage. So kosher salt, 16 mesh black pepper, mustard powder, paprika, wee bit of cumin, and a wee bit of ancho chili powder. And you can't forget the pink curing salt, because we wanna cure these links. Give her a mix around. Time to rise and grind. Blade, the coarse die. Grinder parts are cold, meat is cold, and the foot pedal's attached. Let's grind it up. Open up the throat, baby, because here it comes. This grind's looking sweet. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add our spice mix just to introduce it to all the meat. Just get this worked in just a little bit. And I'm gonna go in with about 250 grams of our green sauce to start, just to see where that gets us. I wanna make sure this sausage is plenty moist, but not overly saturated. Okay, good start. Good start. I'm gonna go in with about 200 more grams because it looks like it could use it. What is this guy doing? We're looking somewhere between 400 and 450 grams of this green sauce. Just keep on watching. It'll get better, I promise, but don't do that. Just don't. All right, our farce is looking pretty tacky, which is great. I didn't forget the poblanos. I rough chopped them so we can mix them in by hand. All the poblanos into the sausage pool, and then a bunch of Oaxaca cheese that I cubed up. This is the brand I found at the grocery store, and this is going into the sausage pool with everyone else. And all of the ratios of the ingredients will be in the recipe in the description, but essentially I'm using about 18% of the weight of the meat in cheese. Let's case this up. Slam dunk, windmill, 360 windmill. Oh man, nailed that one. And I've got these hog casings from the butcher that I've had soaking in some warm water for a few hours. Just want to make sure we run water all the way through. It's going to help us lubricate the casings. Push all that air out, wipe off our green turd. Double knot. Let's case her up. So we're gonna keep constant pressure on this horn. I'm gonna break out the bench scraper as a guide. So at this rate, I'm just measuring essentially the length of this bench scraper, pinching, twisting away. And then the next one, the same thing, except I pinch and I twist towards. Now this is my first time doing this rope method. So if you've got a better technique or you can do it faster than me, that's amazing. But right now, I'm left with some pretty plumped up links and a little baby blowout. I'm not perfect. Goodness gracious, these links were not horsing around. Definitely not my easiest casing that I've ever done. But I produced a number of super plump and thick links. That green color just pops, and you can clearly see the poblanos and the Oaxaca studded throughout. But now we're gonna send these links to the fridge for an overnight rest. That pink curing salt's gonna go to work, and even a lot of those flavors are gonna continue to deepen and become more complex. So off to the fridge, and I'll meet y'all back in the morning to cold smoke them off. Now these links have been chilling in the fridge for the last 20 hours or so. They've developed a really dark green color. They have firmed up quite a bit. That casing's become a little bit drier, but I'm really digging the green color throughout all these sausages. Now these are feeling a little bit moist on the exterior, so I'm gonna rest these in front of a fan for the next 30 minutes or so while we get ready for this cold smoke. So these links have been cased up, dried out, and they're ready for the cooker. So let's go fire up the cooker. Snake nests. It's cold out here, so we gotta let these coals get hot. It's gonna be a true cold smoke today. Temps are in the 20s. And if you take a look around, you might as well call this Snow's barbecue. Get it? Cause we got all this snow. So enough horsing around, let's pop these Oaxacas on. Up and under. Whoa. Popped them on like it was nothing. All right, y'all, we got these gorgeous green links sitting beautifully on the smoker. We're gonna let these links rock in the smoke until they build some amazing color, a ton of smoke flavor, and we'll know they're done when that casing is looking dry and tightened up a bit. Now I got the damper to the smokestack about a third of the way closed, and our cold smoke fire is running no hotter than 100 degrees. I'm feeling really cold, so I'm done horsing around. So all we gotta do is close it down. Boom, shakalaka. All right, y'all, we've been cold smoking these links for a little over 3 hours. Let's check the temps and check these links so we can pop them in an ice bath. But you can see right now we're rocking just under 125 degrees. Let's check these links out. You can see that color has gotten a lot darker from all that smoke. They have been pretty wet on the outside while they've been cold smoking. Not quite sure why, so I think it's about time we get them in an ice bath. Popping these links into the ice bath is going to shrink up those casings. I'm not gonna cook off all these links today, but I'll vac seal them, pop them in the freezer, and then I'll have some smoky roasted Poblano Oaxaca sausages whenever I darn feel like eating them. Let's crank up these temps to about 250. All right, y'all, we're out at the pit, and I've got it rocking about 225 to 250 degrees. So what I'm gonna do now is basically start over. Yeah, I'm starting this whole sausage process over again. So I made double the amount of sausage just to try to perfect this recipe. So hit that subscribe button so all this sausage doesn't go to waste. The first batch of sausage just was not it. After casing it, the links were loose and they were really wet when I was doing the cold smoking process. And I think the lime in the green sauce started to eat away at some of the meat and gave it a crumbly sort of chorizo-like texture, which is what I was not going for. So I fire roasted the same vegetables all over again, remade the green sauce without any lime, ground up the same blend of beef and pork, but this time I decided to grind the poblano peppers and grind the Oaxaca cheese to get more of an emulsified and evenly distributed sausage. I learned that I used way too much of the green sauce in the first batch, which provided way too much liquid in the sausage mix. So in the second batch, I dropped the green sauce component to about 250 grams. This allowed the sausage to bind up a lot better. You could see how plump they are, still very green. I dried the links out for 2 days in the refrigerator, popped them back onto the offset, and I cold smoked them for about 3 hours at 125 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. I packed a few of those links up, drove all the way out to Hoodoo Brown in Connecticut, met up with my guy Tyler Hodge, and we analyzed these sausages from top to bottom. We looked at the casing, we looked at the texture of the meat, we looked at the liquid component, the fat component, the distribution of the Oaxaca and the poblano. So in the description, I'll drop the actual recipe with the liquid component y'all should be using. Other than that, the flavors are spot on, and my guy Tyler Hodge approved. Check out this sausage pop. Oh my goodness.
Juicy.
Juicy AF. Hot. Woo.
It pops.
You can just see the shine on these links, but really nice and plump, really nice and shiny. These are seriously not horsing around. Let's pull them off and slice on in. These cooked up way better than the second batch, a lot firmer. That color looks great. How much bounce do they have? But look how glistening this is. All that fat, you can see the distribution of the Oaxaca. That is a beautiful looking coin. And you saw how juicy they were in the snap test with Tyler. They can explode with juiciness. So I gotta dial back the liquid component just a little bit, but let's try these out. That is amazing. The bind is great. The meat is super tender because we got the farce really tight on the second time around, and that casing is incredibly tender too. Crazy good. As soon as you bite in, you're getting a lot of that pepper flavor from that green sauce. Then you get a lot of that beefiness, a little bit of sweetness from that Vidalia onion, maybe a little bit of sweetness from the pork, and it's just an all-around great and flavorful sausage. Y'all gotta give this one a try. These Poblano Oaxaca sausages are so good, I just can't stop. Just take a looky-loo. Here comes the waterworks. In case you didn't see it in the sausage pop with Tyler, hold your horses. The flavors in these links are ridiculous. I gotta go in for more. All the ingredients play along so well. You get that roasty flavor, spiciness, beefiness, little sweetness, some creamy cheesiness. These are not horsing around, so make sure y'all go and make this green ween. 2 batches of these links down and I am pooped. So I'm gonna go sleep this one off and dream of some Oaxaca lyrics. Here we go. Whoa, I feel like I'm in LA in this dream. Wrong jersey. Oh well. Yeah. Check 1, 2. How many batches we going through? Poblano and Oaxaca, yeah, just like my homie Moo. That green sauce with the spice, put too much, yeah, and you can't undo. Hit that sub button, yeah, you know I made these links for you. Thank y'all for tuning into Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe for the vibes, leave a like for these links, drop a comment with the next sausage recipe I should be making, and tag me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue because it inspires me to get creative with my sausage. And with that being said, there's only one more thing, y'all. This one is going straight to the horse's mouth. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace! These snap, crackle, and pop.